they've asked me how I'm doing. Everybody is wondering if I've lost my sanity yet, and I'm surprisingly calm and at peace. I don't even know what to say, but I feel thankful to be given this opportunity. The music side is exciting, and all the Billboard, iTunes charts, and all that crap. That's great, but the exciting part's been the conversations I've had with people.
Yeah, I was losing my mind. NPR was literally like, this guy is like promoting extremism. Okay, like I don't know his other songs, but the one I listen to is just like regular old, basic ass, Republican takes that just shit on welfare after like identifying a problem with our politicians and then turning around and then shitting on welfare. Like that's the worst thing they've done. Okay, so turning that around and being like, this is promoting extremism, like makes me fucking lose my mind. Are you just trying to give a gift to the right? Because Fox News is going to run with that now. And then this guy's in the fucking discourse for another week. It's just so annoying. Fox News is going to cut like a ton of videos on it. And I'll be honest with you, they should, because it's so fucking delusional. The rise of Oliver Anthony and the rich men north of Richmond. I do not understand how you look at this and go, oh, let's bring in the extremism experts. The left's overreaction to this guy is pushing away a ton of working class Dems and cons who this song resonates with. Missed opportunity for the left. No, man. This is gone. It's bye-bye, okay? This is just a fucking blip on the radar. What the fuck do you mean? No, it isn't. You guys are greatly overemphasizing shit that you see on fucking Twitter and shit that you see in media. Like, you're forgetting how the interest cycle operates. What the fuck do you mean? Yeah, I'm gonna make a campaign on aligning with this guy by really winning over a lot of hardworking right wingers. Like, shut the fuck up, dude. It's just a song. It's just a song. That is no different. What you're saying right there is no different than the care lording that NPR is doing. It's just on the other side of the equation. See, here's a troll I don't ban ever because he's great. This guy was the next Michael Jackson if you didn't call him fat. It's easier to say it's bad because of extremism identity analysis rather than welfare class analysis because libs and cons agree on welfare reform other than social security. Yeah, yet NPR loves this album. Very good. Mogwai, I love you. I'm going to blow up your school. What? I mean, as a chance to highlight the good and educate on the bad, not short-sightedness of class consciousness. First of all, people literally were up my asshole for making fun of this guy in the lightest ways possible. Okay? Because I didn't immediately dick ride him into oblivion and say he's like the savior of the working class. Okay? So, like, it's not like I was saying this is a genuine threat. I just simply said this is classic dumbass, like, welfare reform asking silliness. And many people on the left, on Twitter especially, did the same thing. They just clowned on him. It's okay, guys. You can clown on people that are making music that, especially the right wing, is celebrating as though this is like some really fucking bold truths that everyone is too afraid to highlight or some shit. This song in and of itself is not about fucking class consciousness. He's talking about like politicians looking out for pedophiles, okay? And like defending pedophiles like Jeffrey Epstein, which Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton are friends of, right? And then he's in the next bar talking about fucking welfare reform, which Bill Clinton did. So which is it? Bill Clinton can be best friends with a pedophile as long as he gives us welfare reform? Is that what you're saying? This Friday is devolving into a cry day. If you heard my analysis of this song and me clowning on him, you know that it wasn't like, oh, this guy presents a danger or whatever. It was just like, here's another song. It's being astroturfed by the right. And there's a very silly, it's just like incredibly silly to take this as seriously as anyone has, okay? Which I refuse to do so. I gotta pee while this plays.
Just in a couple weeks.
Hold on.
About the human spirit. And about all sorts of other things, the music industry and how dirty everything is. Like, it's worse than you think. So I don't know what the future looks like for me. I'm not really too concerned about the future. I'm living in the present, and I just have to have the discernment to make the right decisions from here on out, because I think about that guy who was sitting here a few weeks ago talking to you, and the most important thing to me is not leaving him behind. I don't want to go on some roller coaster ride and come off a different person. If there is anything for me to address at all with you, it's that it's the one thing that has bothered me is seeing people wrap politics up into this. I'm disappointed to see, like, it's aggravating seeing people on conservative news try to identify with me like I'm one of them. It's aggravating seeing certain musicians and politicians act like we're buddies and act like we're fighting the same struggle here, like that we're trying to present the same message. I've had a lot of people reach out to me, and I've tried to be polite to everybody, and I've talked to hundreds of people the last 2 weeks. But it seems like certain people want to just ride the attention of this song to maybe make them their own selves relevant, and that's aggravating as hell. The other thing that I find aggravating is, like, it was funny seeing my song in the. It was funny seeing it at the presidential debate, because it's like I wrote that song about those people, So for
ironic is I literally said that, by the way. Well, when we were watching the presidential debate, my first reaction was like, "Motherfucker, why are you guys responding to this? This is about you."
Them to have to sit there and listen to that cracks me up. But it was funny kind of seeing the response to it. Like, that song has nothing to do with Joe Biden, It's a lot bigger than Joe Biden. That song is written about the people on that stage, and a lot more too, not just them, but definitely them. It's cool seeing some of my other music come out, because people are, I guess, starting to appreciate and understand what it is I'm really trying to say. It's hard to get a message out about your political ideology or your belief about the world in 3 minutes and some change. But I do hate to see that song being weaponized. Like, I see the right trying to characterize me as one of their own, and I see the left trying to discredit me, I guess in retaliation. That shit's got to stop. If you watch the response videos on YouTube to this song, it's not conservative people responding to the song. It's not even necessarily Americans responding to the song. I don't know that I've seen anything get such positive response from such a diverse group of people. And
I'm sorry, dude. I just don't think that this is like a genre defining like a world changing work of art. He's fully talking about you. No, he's not. He's talking about everyone else. Okay, and myself included, probably. Chill. So he isn't right wing then? Yeah. Listen. All I want to know is what the fuck he's talking about with the fudge rounds. Okay. There is something interesting about the fact that he never actually. There is something about the fact that he actually rarely ever posted the fudge rounds part. I don't know why. Fudge rounds are fairly fucking good. They're like the chocolate version of oatmeal cream pies. I've never had it.
I think that terrifies the people that I sing about in that song. And they've done everything they can the last 2 weeks to make me look like a fool, to spin my words, to try to stick me in a political bucket. And they can keep trying, but I'm just going to keep on writing. And I've got a lot of words to put down on paper, and I've got a lot of songs to put to chords, and I don't know what my music career is going to look like. I don't know how many shows I'm going to do and how many tours I'm going to put on, but I am going to stay true to.
Why the North of Richmond line if there isn't a Confederate sympathy? Because Rich Man of Richmond rhymes, dude. I was like, he's just fucking saying like Washington D.C. Come on, that part was very clear from the jump. What was Matt Walsh's first like reaction to it? Does anyone have that? I'm trying to find it right now and I can't. I'm looking for it. You honestly don't think that there were Confederate dog whistles in there? We're not buying this walk back, right? I mean, the lyrics objectively are Confederate dog whistles. Did he not write the song or something? What Confederate dog whistles? He's saying rich man north of Richmond as like fucking politicians. Like that part makes sense. This is the protest song of our generation. Dude, this is objectively the lamest thing you could say. I love this. Didn't he love it? Yeah, Matt Walsh loved it. Where the fuck is the original one? Not the one where he says, I like this. Oh, no, not this one either. The OG one. No, the OG Matt Walsh one was like, this song speaks to the heart of like, what people believe in. Oh, the main reason this song resonates is so many people isn't political. This is what I was looking for.
To my word, I'm gonna write, produce, and distribute authentic music that represents people and not politics. I do feel compelled to address something. Since I have addressed the conservatives, I do need to address the left as well, because they're sending a message out that initial song that sort of shot me up the radar, Richmond North of Richmond, is an attack against the poor. If you listen to my other music, it's obvious that all of my songs that reference class defend the poor. Doggone, it's a good example of that. Needles in the street, folks hardly surviving on sidewalks next to highways full of cars self-driving. The poor keep hurting and the rich keep thriving. It's like, that's what I like to sing about. And, the English language is interpretive, and so I do understand, like, there may be some people who misunderstood my words in Richmond North of Richmond. But I've got to be clear that my message, like with any of my songs, it references the inefficiencies of the government.
So here's what his answer was to Oliver Anthony talking about the fudge rounds. Here, this is... Our government likes to throw money at problems without conceptualizing real solutions that connect to the individuals involved. The lyrics contrast that some are left without any and others are only left with the option of living on junk food. Meanwhile, our farming industry has been corporatized and sold out. Food is entirely too expensive, especially in a nation with abundant farmland. In politics, it's all about keeping people who are dependent. That is absolutely not what he meant. I mean, I don't know why he would turn heel after getting this much praise from the right and then be like, oh, maybe people misunderstood the thing that I was trying to say. The only thing I would say in this situation is if he admits that he's just like not the best lyricist, which is why he did the fudge round thing. Libdub retcon, I'll take it. Yeah, I don't know why he would just like fuck up the bag this way. He can't make up his mind on the line.
Because of the politicians within it that are engulfed in bribes and extortion. And, the words say that there's people on the street with nothing to eat and the obese milking welfare. That references a news article I read earlier this summer that adolescent kids in Richmond are missing meals over the summer.
Brother, what? You said the obese are milking welfare. Like, what the fuck do you mean? Why would anybody interpret that in any other direction? It's called having morals. You should try it sometime. Oliver Anthony heads in the chat are going nutty with it. They're like, Hasan, we've always known you've been a fucking grifter. This guy's a Maoist third worldist. He's doing a protracted people's war, liberating the Appalachian region. Okay, and you, on the other hand, are out here being a fucking phony in your goddamn mansion, you fucking rich piece of shit. Every part of his fucking lyrics revolves around shitting on welfare and demanding austerity. Your Maddie spoke on food deserts and your two champagne socials do the same. I do think it's... Let me tell you something. I do think it's interesting. This actually makes him a more interesting person. Why? Because why is a guy who got elevated by the right, astroturfed by the right, into fucking getting a #1 Billboard chart song, turning heel immediately as soon as the spotlight is on him and being like, no, you guys don't understand. I don't fuck with any of this shit because he has morals. Okay, but then why did he fucking write the song like that originally? Why did he get a fucking Rumble account? It makes him a unique person for sure. Because like, here's the thing. He could have just leaned into it and kept it going if he was like the type of dude who just straight up is a right-wing idiot. Okay? The fact that he is like, no, actually, I'm not like that. Diversity is our strength. And also that, fuck these guys who think that, like, I'm on their side. Chat, you can't save him. Holy fuck, y'all are so gullible. I mean, I don't think there is any saving. I think it's an interesting perspective. Maybe he is truly like a fucking leftist dude. Who knows? Maybe. Okay, maybe he is like a class conscious guy, but it's wild that you guys are saying he's a coward and that's why he's backtracking. He don't need to backtrack. He needs the fucking front track, okay? In his shoes, if he legitimately is like a right-wing guy, then all he needs to do is make up another fucking song where he says like you should kill trans people and then boom. You know what I mean? What the fuck are you talking about? All he needs to do is just lean in to the right. And the right will cherish him and keep trying to elevate him back again every time he drops a new album. He's going to make so much more money pretending not to be a Republican. I think you guys are actually unironically delusional. He would farm the right. He's going to make so much money pretending not to be a Republican from the right. Wait, what do you mean? Not leaning into it is going to make him so much more money from the right? No. We're talking about country music. What are you saying? Think about the most popular country musician and his banger, Jason Aldean. Try that in a small town, okay? Versus like leftist country musicians and how popular they are. Who's making more money in your minds? What are you guys talking about? He already hit the fucking he already hit the high note. He already literally tapped in to the collective consciousness of the right. All he needed to do was if he is like genuinely a right-wing guy, that's all he needed to do. What leftist country singers? There are some.
Because their parents can't afford to feed them and they're not in school to eat cafeteria.
Tyler Childers is insanely popular and leftist. Sure. But for every Tyler Childers, there's like a ton of right-wing weirdos.
Lunch. And meanwhile, I think like 30 or 40% of the food bought with welfare or EBT money is in a classification of like snack food and soda. I think 10% spent on soda, and I want to say like 20 or 30% spent on junk food. And that's not the fault of those people. Welfare only makes up a small percentage of our budget. You know, we can fuel a proxy war in a foreign land, but we can't take care of our own. That's all the song's trying to say.
Yeah, that's not what those lyrics were. Come on, man. What the fuck? Just say you're a bad lyricist and move on. You know what I mean? The less direct he is with his politics, the more he can worm around the media. Liberals would be confused and want to ask him more. Republicans would make him look like an innocent artist being bullied by liberals. I don't think this guy is that smart. I don't think he's like smart enough to confuse. Like, I don't think this dude is legitimately like, ooh, I'm going to sneakily with my first hit, say some like really basic right-wing shit only to double down on, instead of doubling down on it, only to back away from it. And then like take a PR hit from the right. He's just fucking up the bag.
It's just saying that the government takes people who are needy dependent and makes them needy independent.
I think you're just being uncharitable.
And at some
no, I'm being significantly more charitable to him than Chad is by saying I think his take here might be genuine. Like, I don't think this is like an insidious, secret, cynical retriangulation of his message. That's why I believe the easier argument is he just thought that it was bars. You know what I mean? He just thought it was fucking bars. And now, like, he was just hitting like very basic notes that he probably thought that he thought would bang, which they did. And then now he's like, no, there's a deeper meaning behind it. He's just a normal Missouri-style individual. When I was living in Missouri, this was basically every dude I met. Why is it so hard to believe that this guy is sincerely politically incoherent? Well, no, that's what I'm saying. What do you mean? I'm saying he's politically incoherent.
At some point, I will dissect all my lyrics of all my songs, if that's what I need to do. I mean, 30-some million people understood what I was saying.
Would you have him on the broadcast? Yeah, I would have him on the broadcast.
To derail the train, you know, to try to send out false narratives. And I'm sure there'll be more of that to come.
I'm not gonna lie. This video paired up with the the NPR coverage on him has changed my mind about his perspective a little bit. I just thought he was like a regular, basic ass, dumbass chud who's just like, yeah, the obese, milk and welfare and the EBT people, they're the real problem. Like we need welfare reform. But I don't think that he is, I don't think that he's like being cynical, because if he was cynical and if he was doing this, he didn't need to re-triangulate his message at all. He could have very easily turned around and continued making like light populist messages, like subtle economic populist messages with a little bit of xenophobia attached to it. Like, oh, you're not helping our veterans that are homeless on the street because you're too busy helping, those who want to invade our country again. And then every single person on the right would be like, this is bars again. He did it again. This guy's the best. When did he say that? He never said that. I'm saying he could say that in his next song and keep riding the fucking wave. I'm trying to say that EBC should be better funded so people can spend it on healthy food instead of having to ration it out across junk food. I don't know. This is what No Theory does to a motherfucker. Doesn't seem like an evil guy, though. You were very uncharitable to him when you first listened, but now you want to be charitable? Shut the fuck up, stupid. Classic fucking chatter. Trying to hit it from both angles. He's the type of person with opposing views you can convince and find common ground with. He's the certain percentage that you mentioned. I'm sorry, there's no way to interpret those lyrics that isn't anti-welfare. Let's be fucking real. Which is why I said maybe he's just not like, maybe he didn't think it through or something, okay? Maybe he just has incoherent politics and someone fucking genuinely explained to him that his line was like implementing austerity measures for no discernible reason. And he was like, well, you know, that's not what I meant. I don't want that. And now he just is backing away from it. My point is this. I'm a media guy, okay? And as a media guy, the thing I look at is, in his shoes, if I have the morality of a right-winger, if I have the ideology of a right-winger, there is no way in hell I'm fucking backing away from that. I'm just going to say it. Certain white leftists will bend over backwards when it comes to romanticizing poor white working class shows. Absolutely. I think people really, really hyper-focus on the aesthetics. And it is yet another aspect of living in the United States of America in a late stage capitalist dystopian world where like you have no connection to class consciousness, so you just only hyper focus on the optics because that's what liberals do. It's liberalism. What are they saying? Please do not stop, keep preaching. I played a couple of your songs with my 82-year-old parents. You well articulated what the common people think. Your music strikes a deep chord to many of us. Please, sir. I don't think any of them actually heard what he was saying. I followed him. I'm going to DM him on Instagram. Going to be irrelevant in 2 weeks to Sam. Move the fuck on. Lol. I mean, I do think so, but I don't give a shit. I mean, it's like, who cares? It'll be an interesting conversation. You talk so much shit about him, Lamau. I hope you guys understand something very important here, okay? Me talking shit about him is perfectly fucking valid for what his lyrics were. If he actually is a fucking left-wing guy who is deeply class conscious, he should understand that. Okay? Suck my dick. I'm not going to fucking sit here and be like, wow, another guy who came out and was like, oh, it's the obese milking welfare. That's the real problem in American society. Just because he said a bunch of fucking populist bullshit like, oh man, rich men north of Richmond, like, this is what they're doing. If that is your major point of contention with the rich men north of Richmond, then, you know, it's fucking bullshit.